President Trump wrapped up the NATO summit in Turkey ahead of a new wave of U.S. missile strikes on Iran. And after recent ship attacks in the Strait of Hormuz and U.S. retaliation, the president declared the ceasefire is over.
As far as I'm concerned, it's over. I'll speak to our negotiators. They want to negotiate. They're good people. Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner. But they have to come back to me. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a waste of time dealing with them.
Negotiations were on a week-long pause to allow for the 6-day funeral procession of Iran's late supreme leader. Thousands of mourners flooded the streets and marched along the coffin, and anti-American chants echoed through the crowds as some mourners carried signs calling for the death of the president. Joining us now is CBS News contributor Masih Alinejad to give us her perspective on all of this. Masih, great to see you. These attacks are happening during the funeral of the late supreme leader, and as we just mentioned, we saw tens of thousands of Iranians flooding the streets to honor the Ayatollah, and many of them were yelling death to America. I remember when this war first began, you mentioned that there was overwhelming support for this war. Do you think that support still exists?
Listen, first of all, I have to say that please do not believe what you see by the propaganda of this regime, because this is not a nation in mourning. Literally, the Islamic Republic shut down the internet the moment when the news came out, because I was bombarded by videos of Iranians dancing in the streets from the city of Mashhad to Karaj to Tehran, everywhere. People were celebrating the death of their oppressor. And now they staged it because dictators are really good at this. What North Korea did, they managed to actually bring people to cry for dictator in North Korea as well. And let's be very, very clear. This is actually a terrorist summit. And I'm going to tell you how. When you see the guest list, there is no democratic leaders in that funeral. And the guest list shows that Russia, China, Pakistan, Iraq, and their favorite proxies like Hamas, Houthi, Hezbollah. So these are like a terrorist summits, as I said. The most, repressive regimes are gathering in Iran. But ordinary people, I want to just give you one name. Just recently, I talked to her friend, Azaria, who she was the one immediately when she heard the news, she came to the street to dance the death of Ali Khamenei, the dictator. Guess what happened to her? She got arrested, and now she's in prison. Her family are worried because they cut her from outside the world. And this is the reality in Iran. So basically, yes, people are happy when they see dictators are dead, but this is not the end of the Islamic Republic. They are confused by receiving different signals from the United States and the rest of the world.
I will lean into that a little bit. When they hear the words ceasefire is over and they look at the language of the memorandum of understanding, what do they think of all of this back and forth?
As I said, that there is no transparency, and that's why people are worried. I am talking about real people. When one time one leader comes up and says, like, 30,000 people got killed. Next time they say 40,000 people have been killed by the Islamic Republic. Then now President Trump says 52,000 people. It just breaks my heart that this is 21st century. And we don't have real numbers, and we're talking about the statistics numbers. No, these are the people. They are the daughters of someone. They're the sons of someone. They're the parents of some children. So that is beyond sad, that nothing being mentioned in the memorandum of understanding. And this is like, to me and millions of Iranians, like JCPOA during President Obama. No mention about human rights. That was President Trump who promised to actually help the people of Iran. But there is no mention about the execution. And that's why you see in the funeral, they actually hanged the, President Trump's poster is there everywhere. And when the Islamic Republic threatened President Trump and other Americans, they really mean it, because I've seen this. I've seen my own picture being hanged in public, and now you saw it in federal court. Literally, they sent killers. They hired killers. This is in the DNA of the Islamic Republic. And that's why I believe the only solution is that the United States of America, the Europeans, the leaders of democratic countries, to be as united as dictators, that they gathered in the funeral of Ali Khamenei. They are not. Democratic countries are not, unfortunately, as united and not collaborating together to end terrorism. We're not talking about like bringing regime change for the people of Iran. I am talking about a regime that this is the biggest threat to global security, to democracy, to humanity, and the rest of the world should take action. And I want to say another thing about the funeral, because it's beyond sad when I see all the media coverages about the staged funeral. A friend of mine, her mother has Alzheimer, and she forgets about the death of Ali Khamenei. Every day when she is reminded about the death of dictator, she gets excited. She celebrates her death. So you see, people may forget the death of Ali Khamenei, a dictator, but they never forget what this dictator did to the country, what is the brutality of this regime, and they're not going to stay there. They will expand their terrorism everywhere in the United States of America as well.
But Masih, when you talk to the Iranian people who are there, is there some concern if these conflicts escalate and potentially civilian targets?
Exactly.
What is there concern that could happen?
Of course, this is the biggest concern of Iranians as well, because look, my family members live there, all of them. I don't want them to be, the target of any strike. And I want to say it again and again. When the schoolgirls from Minab was killed, my heart was broken. And I want America, the Israeli government, to make sure that they're not going to target the innocent civilians. It is beyond sad that people of Iran, great nation, who wants to have freedom, dignity, and democracy, are now stuck between a war and a barbaric, oppressive regime that actually shut down women in their eyes to blind them, now lashes them simply for singing. So this is the regime. So of course, we have a hope on democratic countries. What do you expect us to have hope on Russia, China, Hamas, Houthi, and Hezbollah? Of course, we have hope on America. And we believe when it comes to help the people of Iran, Republican and Democrats should put the political agenda away and really, really care about the lives of innocent civilians as well. That is the biggest concern of me and millions of Iranians. They want the target to be the Islamic Republic, to help the people of Iran to overthrow this regime. Because with empty hand, trust me, they cannot do this on their own. And I'm talking to you, I don't know even what they're gonna do to my own family who are stuck in Iran. So my heart goes with innocent people, and I ask President Trump and other European countries to take the right action to end the terrorist regime without harming innocent civilians in Iran.
Masih Alinejad, always great to get your perspective on this. Thanks so much for joining us.
Of course, thank you so much for having me.